we will have graduated 161,250 individuals. Is that not a great accomplishment? Now, what every university needs is a great law school. And I would encourage you that we have a great law school. Now, before I make a few comments, I will share with you that I talked to a couple of students about how do you make comments at an event like this, which is a remarkable achievement, a wonderful time for family and friends. How do you make comments that actually are memorable? And I was assured by every student that I reached out to that there's absolutely no way to make these comments memorable, but I can do one thing for you. I can make them brief. And so I will honor that pledge, and I will make some brief comments. I had spoken earlier this week about making the University of Memphis a great university. I would tell you that it already is a great university. How do we extend that? And my thoughts about it are that you have great leadership in this law school. You have wonderful leadership. Dean Letsu has done a fabulous job over the course of this last year. You have great faculty at this law school. You have a phenomenal facility. I have been stunned every time I go to the law school and I walk into that tremendous facility. And for all of you out there that have been a part of raising funds to support this law school, let me say thank you, because a great environment like that creates great opportunity and takes us to new heights. You have wonderfully talented students, and most importantly, you have what I would argue is the most noble of causes that actually provides the foundation for a civil society. I had the pleasure of hearing a speaker today, and I was moved by that speaker. And he talked a little bit at our earlier graduation about the difference that small things make. And the example that he gave us, and actually it was a very memorable event, and the example he gave was the difference between 211 degrees of heat and 212 degrees of heat. And for a moment I paused and I thought, we must have brought a chemist in and this is not going to be particularly interesting. But in fact it was incredibly interesting. He talked about the difference between 212 degrees and 211 degrees and 212. And that difference is the difference between water that is remarkably hot versus water that boils. And that 1 degree of effort sometimes makes all the difference. And what I would share with you is that as we approach a new year, as we have faced challenges over the course of the last year, we have seen people make remarkable effort. And I've seen that in the law school, and I've seen that in the community, and I've seen the impact that it has. And I would thank you for that effort, and I would encourage our graduates to remember that effort. And you think about the impact that has on your lives and the lives of the community. There are a couple of things I would ask you to do before I leave. And one is I would encourage you to enjoy this event, enjoy this accomplishment. I would encourage our graduates to take a few minutes today and to think about what this says about your potential and take full advantage of this opportunity and what you've accomplished. One of the things that does sadden me sometimes is when you see students achieve and not take time to reflect. So let me encourage you to reflect on your accomplishment. It's a very significant one. I think the enthusiasm of your family and friends and supporters when you were coming in reflects that great achievement. The other thing I would encourage you to do is something that I think is important, is to recognize those that have helped you. Every single one of us, when we move through our path in life, there are so many around us that help us move along that path. There are so many around us that help us be successful. I read last week an article in the Chronicle of Higher Education about the difference that one faculty member can make in the lives of students, and the difference that those students make in the lives of the community. And you think about the difference you can make in the legal profession in so many lives. I would encourage you to reflect on that, and when you leave, to give back. To give back in a way that the faculty have given to you, to give back in a way that your family and friends have supported you. And I would encourage you to give them a big hug and a tremendous thank you for that assistance. Let me leave you with congratulations on a job remarkably well done, and go Tigers.
Thank you, Dr. Rudd. We have a small gift for you in honor of this occasion from the law school and the graduating class, and we hope that it will mean that you will not forget us. Picture of our law school, and we're hoping it'll be prominently placed in Dr. Rudd's office so he sees us every day, even if he can't visit us. I'd now like to introduce Mr. John Babango of the Ferris Babango Law Firm, who will present the Ferris Babango Faculty Scholarship Award. Can you join me? The Ferris Babango Faculty Scholarship Award was established in 2011 through the generosity of John's law firm, Ferris Babango PLC. The award honors outstanding faculty scholarship, and the recipient is selected by the dean in consultation with Ferris Babango. This year's winner of the Ferris Babango Faculty Scholarship Award is Professor Ralph Brashier. His article is a very strict mail, which appeared in the Boston University Law Review. Thank you, Mr. Babango, and congratulations, Professor Brashier. Now I'm pleased to introduce Chris Tudor, President of the Student Bar Association, who will make brief remarks and introduce the recipients of the Professor of the Year and the Adjunct of the Year awards. Chris is from right here in Memphis. Chris has been a very active and productive SBA president, an excellent student, and someone with whom I have very much enjoyed working from my very first day as dean now almost 1 year ago. I'm confident that we're going to hear many, many more good things about Chris in the years ahead. Please join me in welcoming Chris Tudor.
Good evening. Several weeks ago, our class voted for Professor of the Year and Adjunct of the Year. It's now my privilege to present these awards. The winner for Professor of the Year is Professor Brashier, yet again, winning another award. Professor Brashier earned his JD from Ole Miss, where he was editor-in-chief of their law journal. He also received an LLM from Yale Law. He has taught here at the school since 1990. He's taught property, elder law, and decedent's estate. One of the things that students love most about Professor Brashier is his big personality. He is charismatic, he has a tremendous presence in the classroom, as we all know, and he's also very open and authentic with his students. It makes for a great relationship. Another distinguishing feature about him, as we all know, is his brilliance. It's been often where I've been reading through my casebook and they say, if you'd like more information, please see this article by Professor Ralph Brashier. Now, this brilliance can unfortunately manifest itself also on exams. His exams, no exaggeration, have been known to make some students cry. I can neither confirm nor deny my membership in that. Now, even despite this, his personality shines through on his exams. The same exams that will make you cry, his hypotheticals are hilarious. So you are crying and laughing at the same time in one of the law school exams. It's an extraordinarily rare experience. Professor Brashier, on the side, is also an accomplished musician, and he's also pretty much an unofficial photographer at all of our law school events. In short, he is this law school's Renaissance man. So without further ado, please join me in congratulating Professor Brashier.
Thank you very much, Chris. I am humbled to receive this recognition from you, the class of 2014. A very special class indeed. I wanted to give you something personal and unique for your graduation. Something that was practical and perhaps enjoyable. And also something that really wouldn't cost me much money. Because I'm a property and estates guy, and you know that I appreciate the value of being cheap and selfish. With those parameters in mind, I hope you will allow me, very briefly, to engage in a review of some major legal principles I think you should know, and to share my observations about you as a class. And then I'll shut up and sit down. First, class of 2014, on this happiest of days, let us not forget that in a couple of months you have the ultimate final the bar exam. So let us also take this opportunity to review the most important points from property and wills class one last time. With property, please be vigilant, now and forever, in spotting the potential perils posed by fertile octogenarians, unborn widows, and that most disturbing human interloper of all, the naked trespasser. If an adverse possession case comes your way, always touch Evan, but not in an inappropriate way. With inheritance law, remember that while there are indeed endless inheritance possibilities for the ambitious person bearing a turkey baster and having an open mind and a creative bent, it is nevertheless a gamble to produce as many kids as possible in an effort to manipulate how your parents' money is going to pass it down. In other words, it may not pay off to, and here, I would like to quote the immortal words of your inimitable classmate, Mr. Parker. It may not pay off to kid up. Thank you, Mr. Parker, for adding this incalculably precise term to the legal lexicon of Will's wisdom. I'll be using it for the rest of my teaching career, and today is the last time you'll receive attribution. Second, and this is our final point in case you've lost count while you were on your cell phone, checking email, or engaging in online shopping. Not that any of you would ever do that while a law professor is talking. Class of 2014, you know well that the journey through law school is stressful and difficult. And yet I have seen how beautifully you handle yourselves in settings in which you face immense stress and disappointment. Several of you have lost dear loved ones during your law school career. Some of you have faced your own life-threatening illnesses during the past 3 years. Each of you in the class of 2014 experienced various obstacles as you pursued your study of law. But each of you always worked through the difficulties, disappointments, and setbacks. And here you are today, about to go out into the world and to make it a better place for all of us. If we haven't told you this before, you should know that your courage, dedication, and determination are an inspiration to everyone in our law school family. So I'll end simply by saying that, well, in addition to the original, quite brilliant song I have composed for you and dedicated to you, that will be making its way to Facebook and having its exclusive premiere this week. Yes, I wrote you a pretty ditty. Class of 2014, I do admire you. I salute you. I thank you for all that you have taught me. And I look forward to hearing from each and every one of you as you make your way in the world. Thank you for this honor, and congratulations to you, class of 2014.
Thank you, Professor Brashier. The winner of the Adjunct of the Year Award is Professor Jonathan Scrimetti. Professor Scrimetti received his JD from Harvard, where he was the editor-in-chief of one of Harvard's top legal journals. The first class he taught here at Memphis was actually a legal methods section for our class. He's taught cyber law for the past 2 years. What students love about Professor Scrimetti is his extraordinary kindness and humility. Despite being one of the brightest people in this city, at least according to Memphis Business Journal, he goes out of his way to build relationships with his students and offer his assistance in any way that he can. He has also been an invaluable resource and a good friend to some of us, like me, who have not had the privilege of having him in class.